And it looks like we're now live. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Final Fantasy Friday with me, Jim the Editor, and joining me as is customary is my long-suffering friend and partner, Chris from Pokemon Icon. Hi Chris, how you doing? That good, huh?
It's the morning.
Yes, just so everyone knows.
That's how I'm doing.
I'm in the UK,
morning.
so it's 8 p.m. Here for me, but Chris is in New Zealand, so it's 7 a.m. for him. So thank you very much, Chris, for getting up early and spending your morning with us. Should we get into the game?
We probably should.
All right. Need to turn on the controller. There we go. Work. Helps if I unpause the game. There we go. So, Chris, you missed last week. What were you up to?
Wasn't there a lot of Blitzball?
I mean, there was a lot of Blitzball, but that was because you weren't here rather than as a result. So, what were you up to last week?
What was that? Oh no, I was invited on a weekend retreat for a friend's birthday.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Where did you go?
I don't remember the name of the place. Up north somewhere. Near Mangafai.
Right. Near Mangawai Head. So for anyone who doesn't know, that's kind of like an hour and a half north of a bit longer than that maybe, north of Auckland in New Zealand.
Yeah, maybe 2 hours.
Please.
Yeah. Might be closer to 2.
Yeah. To be honest, it's not a place I would have chosen to go in the middle of winter.
We all know you love a beach, Chris.
Sorry?
We all know you love a beach.
Yeah, we weren't actually at the beach. We were at the sort of I don't know how to describe it. A collection of little cabins.
But it's up it's up north. How is it not near a beach?
I don't know if it's relatively near a beach, but the beach is not where we were at, and it wasn't what we were doing.
Ah, that's disappointing. So what did you end up doing?
Primarily drinking.
So what did you end up doing? Since you're not a huge drinker.
I started playing new Pokemon Snap.
The
Finally.
new Pokemon Snap? How's that going for you? Sorry, I should explain. For people that don't know, Chris has a Pokemon blog, or usually has a Pokemon blog. It's been on hiatus for a little while. So you're playing Pokemon Snap. How's that going?
It's good.
I have to say, I was really taken with the art that was shared of the new Pokemon Snap game. So I'm excited to hear all about it because I don't have a Switch. So
Yeah, and I haven't gotten all that far into it yet, but it's it's more or less what they said it would be. It's just a chill time taking photos of Pokemon in pretty environments.
And sometimes that's all we need.
Yeah, it really is.
So what's the gameplay like?
Quite virtually the original, I'm told. I didn't play Pokemon, I don't know if you did.
Right.
There are the sort of preset tracks through various wilderness areas. You move along them in a sort of pod thingy,
Right.
And there are Pokemon moving around you doing things, getting on with their day. And you can take photos of them. Or you can sort of prompt them to do other things by throwing apples at them.
Right. So, I mean, Generation 5 had a photo function, right? No, not Generation 5. Generation 7 had like special areas where you could photograph Pokemon doing things.
Yes.
That's right, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it has those little cracks in the wall and things, places where you could.
So is
use
it like
the Rotom
an
to
entire
take
game
photos.
version of that?
I suppose.
Huh. Sounds fun. Sounds relaxing.
It is.
Good. Good. And you had a good weekend.
Yeah, it was
This'll
alright.
be easy.
That's a bold claim, Titus. So yeah, what you missed last week, and what everyone missed last week, it was 8 games of Blitzball, which is quite a number of games of Blitzball. I'm sure everyone who watched it will agree. And why were we playing that many games of Blitzball? Well, it was to attempt to get further in the pursuit of Waka's Celestial Weapon, and we actually got quite close. Look at the little Lungian Knight. We're now up to our final stretch of Blitzball games, so we will over the next few weeks do 1 or 2 games a week and knock that off. And that's the last of our Celestial Weapons in this playthrough that we need to fully unlock. So that's exciting. We're nearly fully done with that. But what we thought we'd do this week, take a break from this, or at least take a break from the whole Blitzball thing. Explore Ultima Dungeon a little bit more, level up our terrible characters, and hopefully end the session with trying to take on Ultima, who's like the first boss of this dungeon. There's a second, it's called Omega Dungeon, and the main boss is Omega, unsurprisingly. But there is a preliminary boss, Ultima. So I'm gonna try and take on it, I think. Now,
Him?
I think it is him, but I didn't want to assume its gender. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna be trying to do today. We're still a fairly long way out, unless we just use Aeons. And our Aeons are kind of broken, in that our Yuna is way stronger than she ought to be. And because of that, all our Aeons, or a lot of our Aeons, do a truck ton of damage, which would make Ultima very easy to defeat. So should we try and do
Sounds
this
good to me.
without using Aeons, Chris?
Hmm?
Should we try and beat Aeons, not using Aeons at all, or we're gonna say Aeons as a last resort? What do you think?
I think it's optimistic to decide what to say on.
I mean, it is optimistic and probably unrealistic, but I think we should at least give it one go
Yeah, alright.
without, just to see what happens. Because as we have learnt throughout the series, sometimes disaster is funny. And yeah, we wouldn't want to deprive anyone of the content that would create. Geronimo? I mean, considering that we need to summon Aeons for just regular battles in Omega Dungeon, it does not bode well for our assault on Ultima. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. Once we get another level 4 Keys Fair and Titus gets Ultima, the spell, not the person. It'll be fine. So we need Orin in the party because his weapon has first strike. Ooh, I think these are the guys that actually give you the level 4 key spheres. I mean, it is quite handy having Orin get a couple attacks off the top. Let's get Riku out, and we can steal another Lunar Curtain from this thing. Waka probably wants some more experience.
You called?
I did call Waka. Yeah. I did. And then we can get Yuna out to summon something to destroy everything. Who's gonna come out? Bahamut. Great. Oh, I'm not sure if I got this when you were watching or not, Chris, or when you were with us or not. But we got a rename card from one of the Blitzball tournaments we played.
Oh.
So we can actually rename Bahamut if we want to. Given that all our other summons, for the most part, are named after some of our regular viewers, we need to think who Bahamut ought to be about, or ought to be named after. Oh yeah. Come
Do we
on.
in fact have any regular viewers that you haven't already named an Aeon after?
Not really. Most of them, or at least most of the ones that pop up in the chat, have Aeons named after them. But if someone does crop up, now know that we have the ability to do that. Right. I'm just going to check that we definitely don't have any level 4 key spheres. We definitely do not. Good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, good.
Uh-oh.
We're
Oh, thank God.
Die, aren't we?
Thank God for Wakas. This is the first time that sentence has ever been said, but oh, no, he can't use that. Let's switch in. Or maybe. Okay, what do we need? Use Poison Silence Petrification, so that does not cure Berserk, which is what we need to cure from Thingamy, Yuna, but he does have a Suna. Good old Orin, having helpful things like that. Now we can summon.
Someone here is competent.
We can summon Tony. Tony, who we haven't seen for a while. Hope he's doing okay. Of course, that is Velafor. I did say that we would shorten the. Now that we've seen them all, we can shorten the
Go fight
the summon
on!
animations. So that is a thought. Right, 64,000 HP, and Tony does 10,000. I wonder whether we should try and catch this thing. It might.
Would that help?
I mean, we don't need to catch anything anymore. Now that we've got Orin's Celestial Weapon and unlocked it. But, I mean, you never know. What if one day we want to fight a Great Marlborough?
Yeah, what if?
I don't remember what they drop, but, I mean, should we try it? No. I mean, it was definitely the cowardly option, but but perhaps the most prudent. Yuna nearly catching up to Titus here. So we better find something that gives us level 4 key spheres soon.
We can find level 4 key spheres in here, can't we?
Yeah, I'm like 85% sure.
Shall I look it up?
Ah, if you like. There are certainly some chests around that you get important things from. Oh, Orin. Riku, you tried your best. Let's tie this up too. Nope, not that. It does get a counterattack. Nice job, Yuna. Yeah, Yuna is just better than everyone.
I don't think they drop from any of the monsters here.
Do they not?
No.
There are definitely some chests that you can get them. Who do they drop from? Because I definitely know they drop.
Well, when we get to the end, Omega drops 3, apparently.
Oh, I keep forgetting to put Orin at the top of the party. Oh dear.
Oh, are we just dead now?
Yep.
Oh no. Are we fucked?
Yep. Depends if this kills whoever it attacks. It did not. And as long as Riku doesn't die... Oh, there we go.
Riku's dead.
We are just dead, I think.
I hate these things so much.
Oh, Titus, why did you dodge it? Oh. Oh my word.
That is impressive on Yuna's part, just smacking herself with a stick and doing 3,600 damage.
Well, there we go. Well done.
That is, yes.
Well done, everyone.
Love it when you just die without getting to make a single decision.
Yep. Even the autosave is behind where we're up to. So we didn't even get a single autosave. So, well done. We've just wasted 20 minutes of everyone's time.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, arguably that's what we do every week, but, you know.
Oh, Master Tombury, huh? Should probably steal something. What can you steal from these guys? Do they counterattack it? A mana spring. Oh, they do counterattack that. Oh well. Okay, you can do that. You have life, so you can heal Orin. And that's wonderful. Okay, new rule. I'm not switching Orin out, ever. If I pretend to try, you need to tell me no. Eleanor can help us here.
That's nice of her.
Yeah. Oh, and I will shorten the animation after this battle. Whoa. I mean, say what you want. Eleanor's a badass.
Absolutely.
Just full damage as well. Bang.
Well, I mean, this is what you get from studying the history of botanical gardens.
Oh, absolutely.
Become badass.
No, not that. Aeon's short. Go. Right, so there are chests around here that I imagine will also give us a level 4 key sphere.
Let's hope we can find it.
This dungeon has a really weird and frustrating, like, chest mini-game-y kind of thing, where I think it's one of the chests and everything just has nothing in it, but it doesn't tell you that that's what's happening. that just is. So if you open the wrong one, all the other chests will disappear. But we'll try not to do that. Ghost. Bahamut, impulse everyone. I mean, it means that Titus doesn't get any experience, but hey, it's what you get for being slow, Titus. And plus we need Yuna to catch up on where she was before we died. I guess there's one thing about autosaving in this, or the autosave function, because the autosave function wasn't there in the original games. And what it seems to be is it seems to autosave through cutscenes. So it means that grinding is actually fairly dangerous, or can be fairly dangerous. There we go. Now we have to figure out which of the chests is real. What do you reckon?
How do we figure that out?
There's no way of knowing. It's just complete luck. Left or right?
So by figure out, you mean pick one.
Yeah. It is guess and get lucky.
Very fun.
Don't you just love those games? Go. Okay. Can switch you out.
Back on the field.
Yes, very good, Waka. Well done.
So why is it important that we not switch Orin out?
Because
Sorry.
Orin has first strike on his weapon, which means that if a Marlboro shows up, even if we're ambushed, he gets the first attack, and he also has flee, so we can just run away.
Right.
So that's why that's important. So, Chris, you've been playing some Pokemon Snap, but you've also been playing another game that I've seen the last couple of weeks. And that's a game that we both have, actually, on Steam, Jurassic Park Evolution.
Jurassic World.
Sorry, Jurassic World Evolution. You're right to correct me. Which, I mean, for anyone who hasn't played it, it's kind of like a... How would you describe it? Like Zoo Tycoon or any of those kind of games.
Yeah.
Except...
Yeah, it's one of those... I think the name of the genre is Management Sim. But yeah, one of those games where you build a theme park and have to make it profitable.
Yeah.
Did we just get a level 4 piece here?
We did indeed.
Titus can finally do something.
I guessed, and I guessed correctly. So yeah, it's a theme park simulator-y kind of thing. In the world of, well, Jurassic World. Now, Chris, you are, I mean, say you're well known might be stretching it, but you have been known to have a slightly more than passing interest in dinosaurs. So what do you think about, and in fact, Jurassic World Evolution has just been announced to be, well, the sequel has just recently been announced. So, why are you suddenly replaying this game a lot that we played about a year ago? Like, what brought that on, and what are your thoughts on the upcoming sequel?
Mostly because it's a very chill game to play, and I felt like I needed some chill.
Fair enough. Have you been playing the so there's like a campaign mode and like a more sandboxy kind of mode. Which one have you been?
Neither.
Oh.
I've been playing the so-called challenge mode.
Okay, so what's that?
Basically, they put you on an island, and they go, make a really awesome park, but also we're going to take most of the money you ever earn because we're bastards.
Right.
So you kind of just have to make the park work on a shoestring budget.
Right.
Is that an expression, shoestring budget? That's the expression, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. It's when your budget is made up entirely of fries. That's what you meant, right? You have to pay all your employees only in fries. Sorry, we've now got a level 4 key sphere, which means that Titus can learn Ultima, the strongest summon in the game. Not summon, the strongest spell in the game. And now can be on his way.
Maybe he'll now be a semi-competent black mage.
No. That will never happen. So you've been playing this game, and Steam notified me last week that you have now hatched every species of dinosaur available to you in the game.
Apparently. Which I didn't realize. I would have thought that I had done that, like, ages and ages ago, last year. But yeah, apparently there must have been one I was missing, or one that I'd only hatched while I was offline and Steam wasn't paying attention or something.
So that begs the question, at least in my mind, of who's your favorite or what species in the game is your favorite species of dinosaur?
Well, I mean, historically, my favorite species of dinosaur is Parasaurolophus.
That's the like trumpet-headed one.
Yeah, the big one-looking thing that makes a noise.
Yeah.
Yuna here.
Yeah, that one. So traditionally, in the real world, or in
as I believe the movie says, the one with the big red horn, the pompadour, Elvis.
right, yes. So traditionally, that's been your favorite type of dinosaur.
Yes.
And does that translate across to the game?
Yeah. I like the ones that the game kind of gives brighter colors to.
The game,
That is...
as I know, the game does let you play with the colors. You get to do some gene splicing and things like that to make your animals more interesting, or just live longer. If you don't want them to die. So there's always that side of things. What about do the mechanics make any difference to you? Because, like, as I said in one of our recent discussions about it, is that I always found that the hadrosaurs were really boring, just across the board in this game. There was nothing really distinctive about any of them. They're just kind of like big herbivores that you normally put together in a small kind of group within a
Pray
now within an enclosure. So there wasn't anything too distinct about them. Do you think that's a fair criticism?
Sorry, I'm not sure what you're asking.
So do you think it's a fair criticism that the game doesn't really do much to make distinctions between, I mean, in particular the hadrosaurs, but there's not a lot of distinction between any of the dinosaurs. They kind of just have large predator, small predator, angry herbivore, docile herbivore.
That's up to a point. For some of them, I think it's less true. But yeah, when there's 68 dinosaurs, I definitely think the game has trouble making them kind of behave differently mechanically. I think I think a big part of what the game is trying to do is have this aesthetic appeal. It's kind of light that has different kind of appearances and models, and different colors and things. And I think that sort of more important to people who play this game a lot.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a fair thing to point out, that it's more like part of the game, or at least a certain part of the game should be about being able to create your own arc. That it feels that not only feels like your own, but kind of you're able to kind of experience and walk through your own version of. Because you can drive cars and fly helicopters in the game and things like that, which seemed to me to be a bit of a crazy addition, or an unnecessary addition. But hey ho, it does.
This is in the movies how they kind of control their dinosaurs, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Cars
it
that
is.
go out.
Yeah, you know, of course it is. I was just good, Titus. I just don't know how. Oh god.
Are we dead?
Oh, we might die again. No, Titus, why are you still... Oh, you're a dick, Titus. He's already confused. Oh, well, he's... Come on, hit him and unconfuse him. No! Yes! Uh-oh. 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 Oh. Oh, we're gonna have to get that thing again. So I don't think we are gonna be able to beat Ultima today because we keep dying. Oh, God
We
damn.
are extremely bad at this.
Oh. Okay, well, I have to remember which of these chests is the right chest. Ah, some bombs. Yeah, you defend.
Oh wait, we have Jasper in the chat. Say hello to Jasper.
Hi Jasper, how you doing? Thanks for joining us today. I think I've seen Jasper towards the end of our streams on occasion, so it's nice of you to join us early on here for what has been thus far a fairly disappointing stream in terms of our own abilities. To describe them as lackluster would be generous. So nice to see you, Jasper.
All of our bad decisions are coming back to bite us.
Well, that's actually one thing we haven't covered, Chris. What were our bad
Back on the
decisions?
field.
Making all of our characters do things that they're bad at.
Yeah, so at the start of this game, we decided to play on a on the advanced sphere grid, which means that the lines are slightly more open than they would otherwise be. So we were allowed to explore, shall we say. And we decided, it was decided, that we should not send anyone down their proper route. So everyone does the wrong thing. And as of yet is not very good at it. Despite the fact that we're in the end game, we have all of the celestial weapons, and we've only got one left to unlock fully. Our characters are still awful, with the exception of Yuna and all of our Aeons, because, yeah. Hence why we are heavily reliant on our Aeons here, and yeah, if we are going to try and beat Ultima, I don't think we can do it today if we're going to go the anti-Aeons route. There we go. Oh, 130,000 damage across those three enemies there.
Were you going to switch the Aeon animations to the short version?
I did. I have switched it, Chris.
Surely it didn't.
Unless it doesn't say it.
I don't know if it saves because
It does not.
There we go.
Wow. Things that we learn. I've never had that problem before.
Because I definitely thought that's the long version of Bahamut Summon animation, and then you told me no, I've switched it to short, and I thought, am I losing my mind?
The answer is no. The answer is we are just losing.
Yes. Because we are bad at this.
Mm-hmm.
And we deserve only death.
That's alright. We just need to be more careful around things that can confuse us. And when everything's confusing, that is problematic. Oh yeah. One day we'll rely less on summons, but it is not today. There we go, the short version of Tony.
Please lend us your strength.
Please. We need it. Oh, I wonder if that's one of the basilisks. It is one of the basilisks. So I'm just trying to figure out what the mimic is mimicking. And it's mimicking one of the basilisk things. You know, with the snaky things with the long tail and the forearms. That's one that I haven't been able to figure out before, so I'm quite happy. That? Come on, team. Come on, team. This way, and I did the left one first. Alright, you Tonberry. We learned our lesson from last time, is that we don't steal from this thing, we can let it step forward. Summon Eleanor to do our bidding. Eleanor, lend us your strength.
Please help us.
But, Chris, we were talking about Jurassic Park Evolution. We mentioned that, or I mentioned that the sequel has just been announced.
It has.
Do you have any? Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. And we obviously haven't seen a lot of it so far. But definitely the things that they're saying about it sounds good. Is this going to be the right test? No.
Oh, I opened the wrong. It was a different one this time.
And Titus does not get his magic spell.
So we haven't seen a lot of the new thing, but from what they've been saying,
yeah, it looks like they're doing a lot to make the dinosaur behavior more interesting. Changing the way like dinosaur space requirements work. Dinosaurs together in the same space, which I think is good. Like one of the weirdest things about the version of the game that exists now is that carnivores don't hunt in packs. Like in the Jurassic Park books and movies are really, really famous for their coordinated pack hunting. You know, they hunt alone in this game.
and they're changing that for the sequel.
Yes, so there's now going to be pack hunting behavior. And there's going to be dinosaurs that sort of more or less compatible with other species and will be able to live together or will not be able to live together, that sort of thing.
Yeah, versus the current version, which is just kind of like, as long as you tick a couple of boxes in terms of territory size and availability of food and water, then they're pretty much gravy. They can live wherever they like.
Yeah, I mean the main thing is is that some species do not like to have a lot of company. But the ankylosaurs are the main ones that dinosaurs with more than half a dozen other dinosaurs. No matter how big it is, it will kind of freak out at you and get mad.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good that they're adding a few more things to help make the individual species, as we were talking about earlier, feel more individual, which I think is a good thing overall.
Yeah. More ways for them to sort of all behave differently.
One thing that they're adding for the sequel that I quite like, that's insane to me that it wasn't in the original game, is that herbivores no longer need feeders. They actually eat the plants that are in the enclosure, and how that wasn't part of the original game, I have no idea. In the
that was strange because there's a game that was kind of the predecessor to this one, which was Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, that came out in like 2005, I think. And in that game, the dinosaurs could eat just plants that you put in the enclosure.
But, like, the carnivores eat other dinosaurs that you put in the enclosure. And can get fed that way. Like, that's an actual source of food for them, if that's how you want to run your park. But, so it's wild to me that the herbivores, and there are trees, but they serve like trees and bushes and shrubs and everything, but they serve a purely aesthetic purpose, which just seems wild to me.
It is, but to be fair, it is actually like a plot point in the original film that the park managers put plants there purely for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah, but it's also a plot point that the dinosaur is eating those things. So I think that point goes both ways. Let's just use energy rain.
Check this out.
Check this out. It's going to do like 1,000 damage. Good on you for trying, Titus.
Alright, he's not bad.
No, I think it's about 1,000. It did 46 to one of them. But I think
how's his Ultima?
Well, he doesn't have it anymore. Remember, we died.
Oh no.
But it's okay. We can summon Anna, and Anna can help us out.
Go to the Aeon.
Yep, go to the Aeons. Aeons can help us. Stick that thing in the head, and okay, that doesn't do much damage. What's Heavenly Strike gonna do? Let's see. Still only 1,000. Alright, that's less good. Lazara? What's that gonna do? Just living by trial and error here. Alright, well, let's see what Diamond Dust does. We now get 50,000 damage. There we go. More than one way to skin a mimic.
Do they have skin?
No? Not in this realm. In the mimic realm they do.
There's a mimic realm?
Probably. Alright, we can now see all across the dungeon.
Does that help?
No, I was just hoping that there was another set of chests up here, but they were not.
Pitiful.
Yep, it is pitiful. We had Ultima in our grasp. Oh, I was hoping all the bombs would grow from that. Because then they'd all be using fire attacks, and I could summon Waka to save us from the fire. I will instead summon Waka to heal Auron. Since Waka is our white mage.
And a very good white mage he is too.
That is not true. Okay, I'm switching Auron out, but I'm gonna switch him straight back in after the battle. Do not let me forget Chris. Be it on our heads.
Probably not.
But yeah, it seems like Jurassic World Evolution 2 is gonna provide like just some nice little tweaks. Things like rather than popping out of the hatching area and immediately deciding whether something's happy with the enclosure or not, the dinosaur's actually going to take some time to explore the enclosure before it settles down and deciding that it hates you or not. Which I think is like a nice little touch. Rather than having sociability that's based on how many dinosaurs are in an enclosure, the sociability, each dinosaur is going to have a certain amount of territory that they protect or otherwise. So I think there seem to be just a handful of nice little tweaks that are making me very interested in trying this game. When for me, the first one was kind of like, oh yeah, that's fun, and that's about where my interest in it finished. But yeah, I'm intrigued.
Also, there's going to be marine reptiles in this one.
I mean, what a thing not to have in the first one, considering that Jurassic World does have marine reptiles. And you'd think it would just be...
Yeah, I mean, the Mosasaurus is such a big deal in the film.
Yeah, and you'd think it would be quite easy to do. Like, it's just adding another enclosure type.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I can kind of understand why they didn't do it, because I think the extra systems that you would need to add to make to make a walker animal that behaved differently in ways that sort of felt like they made sense for an aquatic creature. I can see that being more trouble than it's worth for a game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. And also, like, if you were just gonna have one, because it doesn't seem to make sense to make an entire enclosure for one mosasaur, a new enclosure type at least for one mosasaur. Like, you'd need probably a variety of marine reptiles to justify that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's awesome because of course I want my own plesiosaur. But yeah.
Yeah, but later on in the sort of life cycle of the game, they added a pteranodon aviary. But that's also sort of, it's not particularly interesting. Like, the pteranodon isn't capable of a lot of the things that other dinosaurs do. They don't have any sort of interaction with each other. They don't have any social behaviors. You don't really design the enclosure. It's just you build the aviary and that's it.
I mean, that's a bit disappointing.
Yeah. So, which, like, again, I can understand why they did it that way, because it would be a whole bunch of extra systems that they need to create for this one species.
But you think if you were going to make it, like if you're going to go to the trouble of making an aviary, then you may as well go to the trouble of making 3 or 4 species to go inside it. And some cool interactions between those species. Like, where's my Quetzalcoatlus? That's what I'm asking. Something big enough, like... Oh, I mean, Quetzalcoatlus would be fantastic anyway, just any of those ground-stalking, Asdarkids, is that what they're called? Those ground-stalking Asdarkids, from the late Cretaceous. Like, any of those would just be fantastic to play around with. I mean, Chris, the things are the size of a giraffe.
I know, right?
I know, and it flies!
Yeah, a flying giraffe. Because why not?
Yeah.
Nature, you're drunk over.
It's just, like, I've seen giraffes. Not in the wild, obviously, at zoos around the world. I cannot conceive of a thing the size of a giraffe that tries to fly. Tries, let alone succeeds in flying.
It's clearly a bad idea.
I mean,
On a fundamental conceptual level.
it is, like, it's a crazy thing to try and conceive of. Let's save it in case we die again.
We really need one of those level 4 key spheres, don't we?
Yep. It's okay, I'm sure there are other places in this dungeon where we can try and find them. I mean, what we could do... And I mean, it is a little bit... It's not cheating, but it's a little bit of... Oh, what's the word? It's... kind of shrinking away from the challenge, but it'll be more efficient, is to just put on one of the no encounter things and go around here. Because of course we have Kimari's no encounter bracelety thing. That. You can switch up there.
I'll take care of them.
No, you won't. You switch up for Kamari. That, and you switch back up for Yuna. And now lots of people get experience.
Hooray.
That's how we do things. So yeah, I'm hoping that we get more than just a mosasaur in the in whatever the ancient aquarium is going to be.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have.
Do you have any?
Dilophosaurus, Ichthyosaurus.
The Tunnypharosaurus,
Hmm.
which is just a giant mosasaur. Do you have anything on your wish list?
Any dinosaurs or any features?
Dinosaurs, let's start with.
Not for dinosaurs. I mean, there's definitely a few marine reptiles and pterosaurs that I would put on the list.
I mean, let's include marine reptiles and pterosaurs. Is there anything in particular you'd like to see of those?
Yeah. So one of the big ones, Quetzalcoatlus or Ornithochyros, definitely. I think also some of the smaller earlier pterosaurs, like Rhamphorhynchus, I think would be a good one to put.
Rhamphorhynchus would be really fun. With its little like devil tail.
Some of the other, like one of the goofy looking ones, like
These
Tatejara or something. It's like a really goofy-looking pterosaur with a silly crest and some bright colors.
I mean, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Here's a question. If they're going to expand out into other Mesozoic animals,
Oh, yeah.
is there anything else from the Mesozoic that you'd like to see?
From the Mesozoic.
Is Dimetrodon Triassic?
Dimetrodon's
Or
earlier.
is it
Dimetrodon's
earlier?
Permian.
Yeah, that's what I thought. One of those freaky lizard mammals. Oh no, look at this. This is quite cool. This is one of my favorite attacks in the game.
Oh, what's it doing? Oh no!
It just stabs your Aeon. Makes a little voodoo doll of it and stabs it. I forgot. Oh, I kind of had a vague memory of it having that attack. But it's quite fun in action.
That's brutal.
It is.
Why?
It's quite cool though, isn't it?
It is.
Like imagine
What a bastard.
Imagine not having the Celestial Weapon, so not being able to break the damage limit, and having a thing that just one hit kills your Aeons, and one hit kills in a counterattack any of your actual party. It's just a little bit crazy. Oh, it's a counterattack! I thought it was an actual attack! Oh, goodbye, Tony!
No!
Stabbed through the heart. Poor Tony. So, what are there any other Mesozoic creatures that you'd like to see from the game?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I mean, going back to the marine reptiles for a bit, there's definitely a lot of those. Like, obviously Mosasaurus, but also, like, Elasmosaurus or Plesiosaurus.
Something like
definitely-
Lipluridon.
Yeah. Definitely... I think it'd be nice to have a small ichthyosaur like Ophthalmosaurus and a big one like Shawnosaurus. I think that'd be good. And maybe like one of the dumb Triassic ones like Nothosaurus.
I think just some more Triassic stuff in general would be quite cool.
Yeah, maybe it'd be cool to have like Plateosaurus in the game.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking of actually. Like I think it'd be nice to be able to have, if you wanted to in a playthrough, enclosures that were like specific to different eras. Let's get that one. Yes. Oh.
Well, we got the level 4 key sphere.
Yep, we got the thing that we came for.
We should probably save the game fairly soon.
Yep, let's use it. Get the benefits of having it. Because we also get this empty node that I last time used a strength sphere on, and don't see why we shouldn't use a strength sphere on it this time. Get Yuna more buff. Now Yuna has Ultima as well.
Excellent.
She can't go all the way back just yet. Go to there. Good. So what else? I mean, I think it'd be quite cool to be able to, and it wouldn't even take that much, I don't think, to integrate some of the large crocodilians. From the period.
Deinosuchus and the like.
Yeah, exactly. Because that would, I mean, it would, if you're gonna have Spinosaurs and Baryonyx, it's a very similar niche, right? The kind of living, the not quite aquatic, or the semi-aquatic, or semi-riverine niche. So I don't see why that would be overly difficult to implement. And the Triassic generally had some weird crocodilians that would be quite cool to play around with. Like I think that's the period where we get some Thalatasukians.
Are those the ones with the long legs?
No, the Thalatasukians.
The sea crocodiles.
Are sea crocodiles, yeah, where they've got their legs are flippers instead of legs, and they have kind of a long mosasaur-like tail. It might be a little bit too much of a crossover, but I think that would be a cool thing to be able to play around with. And it'd be also it would be cool to have if they're going to implement this, like if they're going to have the aviary, why not have things like Archaeopteryx or other early birds? Like that seems to make a lot of sense. If it's gonna be there anyway. Got there. Since like that's quite a big thing in at least the Jurassic Park. Well, the first Jurassic Park movie is that like, dinosaurs and birds are very closely related to each other. Blah 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 blah. As we know, Jurassic Park has its whole history of choosing not to make its dinosaurs feathered. But I think that'd be a really cool discussion to have as part of the game, and even have feathered skin options for some of the dinosaurs that we at least know for certain had feathers. I think that'd be really cool. I think. Yeah, I don't know if I've got too much else on my wish list. I don't know enough about Mesozoic mammals to have any of them on my wish list.
Well, they're mostly kind of tiny and shitty, right?
Wasn't there an art? I'm saying wasn't there. There was an article recently that suggested that wasn't actually the case. Is that mammals were actually quite diverse. There was a limited size range. They weren't dominant now, but they're actually far more diverse than has been previously represented. Which I mean is not hard to imagine, since previously they've all been like something between shrews and badgers, and how they've been presented. I think that article's in the last couple of weeks too. I'll send it to you after this if I can find it, Chris.
Thank you.
I don't think it was fossil evidence. I think it was DNA evidence suggests that there were actually more branches in the late Cretaceous or mid to late Cretaceous than has previously been suggested. Anna, when you're listening to this in the future, fact check me on that. Alright. Yeah, one more strength for Ori. Actually, why don't we just I'm just going to take a quick look at how everyone's doing. Right, so normally, Chris, when I end the game, my strongest character, like when I beat Unaliska, which is something that we did months ago at this stage, my character with the most strength has about 90 strength. Orin has 49 at the moment.
But is he the one with the most?
Murray has 48. Yuna has 52. Waka has 25. Lulu has more than Waka, 26. Riku has 19 out of 33. So, basically, what we're saying there is
what you're saying is we're terrible.
we're half the strength that my characters normally are at this stage. And I'm going to run away from this battle, since all 3 of those guys can confuse us. And we've just got a level 4 key sphere, and I'm not doing this all again. Oh, a ghost. Oh no, we're doomed. Oh dear.
Doom.
I know, Doom. It's one of the worst things that can happen. In 5 turns, Yuna's gonna disappear from the battle. She only needs 1 turn to summon Seronimo. Come on, Seronimo.
Please.
Were the really giant snakes, were they like Titanoboa?
Mm-hmm.
Was that Mesozoic? Or is
Yeah,
that
I want to say
Cenozoic?
Cretaceous.
I thought it may have been early Cenozoic. I was thinking maybe like 55 years ago.
I'll look it up. Titanoboa.
Also, I know Jurassic Park is all about dinosaurs and other Mesozoic.
Oh yeah,
reptiles.
you're right. You're right.
Sometimes it happens.
Paleocene.
Sometimes it happens. Given that, I mean, I know that Jurassic Park is. Let's get Yojimbo out here. Given that the Jurassic Park is all about dinosaurs, would you be against
Please
moving
clear us a
away
path.
from the Mesozoic with the animals that you can create?
Not entirely. No, I mean there's there's definitely a few cool animals that would be cool to just mix in.
Like, would you be... and where would you draw the line? Where would it stop being Jurassic Park?
Oh, I don't know. And I think I want it to always be mainly dinosaurs. So I think it's probably more the number of other things than any specific.
So you wouldn't like a
Creature that you shouldn't have in it.
so you wouldn't be overly against like a Pleistocene expansion set.
Yeah, like I don't think it'd be crazy to have like a mammoth or a skeleton or something.
But surely you'd have to introduce, like, if you were going to do that, you couldn't do a one-off. Like, you'd have to do a set of them, surely.
You would, yeah.
All right. So we've got about 20 minutes left. Why don't we play 2 games of Blitzball, because that'll reduce the number of things of Blitzball. We haven't got anywhere near Ultima, but we have got this level 4 key sphere, which did plague us. Just so you know, Chris, let's play. No, that's not play tournament. I had to reset the data, so we're all back down to low levels again. We're against the goers.
Very exciting.
And I switched up our team. We now have Waka in our team.
Oh,
We no longer have.
is he any good?
Diggs. Yeah. Waka's quite cool. Waka's one of the characters with unique animations. So that's always nice. In terms of a lot more rustic with how he plays the game. So yeah, that's always fun. And yeah, he's fine. Like he's not broken either way. Alright, let's blitz. Good on you, brother. We're going up against the Luca Goers. Obviously, big rivalry between the Goners and the Aurochs. And when we say big rivalry, we've lost prior to Titus entering Spira. Besaid had lost every single matchup with them for about the last 20 years. So, to the extent you can call that a rivalry...
Haven't they lost every game?
Yes. But to the extent that you can call that a rivalry, it is a rivalry. Titus breaks through Grav, gets the shot off, Rowdy can't catch it, another goal, or first goal of this session. Another goal for Titus in this league, but first goal of this session for the Aurochs. Just 40 seconds. Grav with the ball though. Rather quick enough to get there. So I mean that's I think I do wonder whether Pleistocene would be pushing the Jurassic Park nature of it. I think you could maybe go earlier. You could go into the the Paleocene. Not Paleocene. The Paleozoic. I mean, it would be quite interesting.
A lot of people think Dimetrodon is a dinosaur already, so just throw that in.
But I mean, all those synapsids from the Permian would be, or a number of those would be quite interesting to have. But also you could go to the Carboniferous, have some of those mega bugs. The
Mega Dragonfly?
The griffin flies and the giant centipedes.
Giant amphibians too.
Yeah, exactly. The I can't remember what one of the famous early ones are called.
No, I don't remember either.
Tiktaalik is the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Which I mean would be quite cool to have something like that. Oh whoops. Sorry, I assumed that Titus was not terrible at passing the ball. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, and then I guess the balance you have to reach is to what extent is it now no longer Jurassic Park and it's actually just some kind of sandbox game with some dinosaurs and lots of other stuff. Nice shot, Wedge.
And I think there is another game on Steam that kind of bills itself as that. What's the name of it? Prehistoric Kingdom.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. I think it's not released yet. They're planning to release later this year. But billing itself was like, yeah, this is the dinosaur park, but also we have reached some other periods. You know, we have mammoths and we have prehistoric birds and stuff like that.
So clearly it's such a good idea that someone's already had it. Like all good ideas, Chris. As Brother shoots, looking for our fourth goal of the match. There it goes, into the goal. 4-0. Brother with 2, Wedge with 1. Titus the other goal scorer. Need to get Waka a goal. I don't think we'll be able to do it this half. No. Needed that one to go through.
What does this game have? Mammoth, woolly rhinos, Smilodon.
Hopefully dire wolves. That'd be fun. No, Wedge. The AI is so bad at this game. Like, that is one annoying thing. Like, I think they figured out that the AI was bad. Like, I think they know the AI is bad at this game, which is why the AI's stats, the stats of the players that they get given are kind of ridiculous. There we go. Brother grew up 2 levels in that game. Oh, in that half. Good. Good. Good.
And that always is a little bit annoying. We know our AI is terrible, so we'll just make it cheat school of difficulty.
But I mean, that's a classic of a whole bunch of games. Like Civilization is a real bad example of that, because that's literally the only thing they've done in the entire history of the Civilization game. They don't know how. Well, there are some things that you're expected to, I think, exploit as a non-AI player that the AI can't exploit. Things like ranged attacks, stacking units in the early version of the game, or the early editions of the game. And because the AI doesn't know how to exploit those things, they just get ridiculous advantages instead to like income or morale or whatever it is, production. Oh. Guys, I'm just trying to do a thing here. Oh, well, Wedge learned a new technique. It's good for something. Doram's got the ball. Silly. Alright, I think you can break through Bixen here, brother. Question is, will Waka be able to break through Doram? Couldn't last time. See if he can this
The other
time.
question is, do we care?
I mean, it's always nice to just get Waka a goal. Doram tackles hard. Waka keeps the ball. Look at those
You're
little...
also definitely going to win now, though, right?
Pardon?
You're definitely going to win, though,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, they're not going to score 6 goals, or even 5 goals. That's the other thing. With how much of this game they make you play, why is there not a mercy rule? It would just make so much sense to have an option to have a mercy rule.
It would.
And say, if you lead by 5 goals, the game is over. And like that, you could even integrate that into how the Luca goers like to make fun of the Aurochs, that they didn't even make it to half time of their last matchup, or however you want to paint it. Because I mean, it does get a little bit painful at points. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love running up a score against the AI. I do quite enjoy that. But at the same time, like, it would just save so much time. And kind of needless time. So just having the option to include that would be I mean, it's just a good idea, right? And yeah, you might say there aren't many games in the world, in the real world, that have mercy rules. But I mean, the only one I can think of is international softball has a mercy rule because of how lopsided it is, or can be. But I don't know what that is.
Why
off
is
the top of
that?
my head. Just because I think it's a bit dispiriting to make a team continue when they're losing by 20 runs. So of course, Major League Baseball, I don't think, in the US, I don't think has a mercy rule. You can win by as many goals as you want. But international softball, for whatever reason, does.
Is it easier to run up the score in softball?
I think
or-
softball is generally higher scoring than baseball, just because of the pitching. The ball's slightly bigger. I think the dimensions of the stadium's smaller, and you're allowed to use metal bats in softball, which you're not allowed to do in baseball. The ball goes further. So that might be part of it. Yeah, honestly, I don't know why that was included, but it just seems like a good idea. I mean, there should be a mercy rule in a whole bunch of things to stop games getting out of hand. The only problem is I guess making sure that it's set at a level that's reasonable. Like, it's not that 99% of games will be won, it's that 100% of games will be won after this point. Because you don't want to rob either the team or the public of that one time where it doesn't happen.
Miracle comeback.
Yeah, because that's just the kind of story that everyone loves, right? Is that kind of sports story that, like, oh yes, back against the wall. Al Pacino giving you a team talk at halftime. That kind of thing. Never gonna use volley shot 2. Right, and this is actually the only hard game that we have, because Nimruk's stats are his numbers are so high, that it's difficult to get the ball past him. So, not because, I mean...
I do hate playing against this team.
They're a frustrating team to play against. And I mean, to be fair, all their stats are good. Like, they are statistically, I think, probably the toughest team to play against in all of Blitzball. He starts with 18, it's so high. So Titus can't even get a jet shot off, but Wedge has got a shot that can do it, and Brother does as well. So we'll be able to get goals that way. And Titus can sneak one in too, and that's always helpful. But yeah, part of the problem is that the AI is so bad that the chances of them, like, getting their stuff together in order to score even 2 goals happens so rarely that once you're up 1-0, it's not game over by any stretch of the imagination, but it's very much a you can probably relax now scenario. His brother swims in circles for a minute, opens up a bit of a gap, all by himself in front of the goal. How? Not all by himself. Where did she come from? Can't get the job done though. Brother shoots and scores.
Still don't get why his name is Brother.
Yeah, because it's not even the Al-Bed for Brother, as we discussed last time. Or the last time we discussed this, whenever that was.
Did we discuss this on the stream or only in chat?
I think we discussed this in the stream, that his name is actually Brother. And is actually the English, or Spearin, common tongue, whatever you want to call it, word brother. So it's not even like Riku is calling him brother. It's that, yeah, he's actually called Brother. Which, yeah, makes no sense.
So is he older than Riku?
Yes, I think so.
So at the time when he was born and named Brother, he was quite literally not a brother.
Yeah, I mean, you've met Sid though.
That's fair.
He doesn't seem to really care much about what's going on with his kids. This does not have enough HP left. There we go. We'll just wake up Waka. Oh, and Wedge got the ball. Always handy. Happy little accident there. Give the ball to Waka. God, my team sucks at passing. Jeez. Let's break all of them, Waka. And then dribble. I got through one. It's better than expected. Brother learned the new technique as we go into half-time. It's always handy. Jeez, so much better than everyone else already. Let's put Wedge up front. Try and get another goal. And because we only have 7 more games of Blitzball left. 6.5. Which is so much better than it was, or than we thought it was a week ago. If we go back to considering the Jurassic World Evolution game, Chris, one thing... Whoa, that went in! One thing that I don't know, or that I don't think it does very well, in fact, and it's something that I don't think the Jurassic Park franchise has done very well, is populating all levels of the ecosystem. Because I feel
How do you mean?
I feel like there are a lot of big things. But there aren't a lot of there are a lot of big things. There are a lot of medium-sized things, and there are a lot of gigantic things. And there aren't a lot of small things. Like the ecosystem that you make in and that might be an explanation for why you do need feeders, is because you're not actually creating complete ecosystems when you're building your park, because you're missing a whole bunch of stuff that would have been scurrying around alongside these gigantic creatures.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I've been listening to... I've started listening to an audiobook of the original Jurassic Park novel.
As anyone who follows you on Twitter will know. Yeah.
And this is actually the reason that they made the consignations. In the book, this is explicitly why they have consignatus in the park. Because they were trying to make a full ecosystem. And what they found is that the big dinosaurs, there's certain kinds of bacteria that existed in the Mesozoic that specialized in breaking down the manure of big dinosaurs. And
Right.
those kinds of bacteria don't exist anymore. So what they found is that the huge piles of dinosaur shit just weren't decomposing properly. And they made the Compsognathus to eat that. Because the Compsognathus would then, further break stuff down, and their droppings apparently can be attacked by modern bacteria.
Right. So they created a problem. Well, they're doing something for the wrong specific reason. They're doing the right thing for the wrong specific reason. Like, that's a thing that makes sense to do, but not for that reason. I mean, we don't know that that's not true, but it seems like a wild thing to invent.
Yeah.
Like, why? Yeah, why did anyone think that was necessary?
Michael Crichton was a strange man.
I mean, absolutely he was. Because I mean,
I think it's kind of a clever thing to put in the story. Just because it's the kind of thing that readers would not think about. Like, oh yeah, that is a part of this ecosystem that you need to have in order to function.
yeah, but you could have done that without that, like, weirdly specific scenario. Is this idea that, okay, well, everything has a knock-on effect in the environment, and everything plays its role. We don't have any, like, we have, the reason that we don't need, for example, maybe tiny pterosaurs flying around, or tiny birds flying around, is because we have, on the island, modern birds flying around. And they play a similar role. Like, that would be an interesting... But what we don't have is this other thing. And it didn't need to be. We don't have this thing that... We don't have this enzyme that processes manure. So let's make a manure-eating dinosaur. Like, that didn't need to happen. It is an interesting
You kind of see why they left that out of the movie, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
The reason they ate the reason they made the Compsognathus was to serve as decomposers.
Yeah, I agree with leaving that one out. But as we said, that does kind of, it's an attempt to address an actual or a potential problem they have that they would have in such a park that I don't think that those games do a particularly good job of addressing. And those are our two games, and it is about that time, Chris. Do you have anything coming up that the people should know about?
I don't think so.
No? Do you have any... you have a ton of questions in your question box. Are there going to be any answers soon up on PokemonIcle.com?
I hope so. Can we just leave it at that?
Let's leave it at that. For my sake, I don't really have anything brand new going on. You can check... If you want to check out some of my more serious work, you can check out the All About Energy podcast on wherever you find good podcasts, except not Spotify. So that's the All About Energy podcast. I was supposed to have done an interview for episode 5 this week, but my guest was feeling ill after her second COVID jab, so that didn't happen. It's been postponed, so that'll be out in a couple of weeks. We're doing the interview for that this coming week, so that'll be interesting. That should be fun. Still 4 episodes there for you to check out. They're all about an hour each. So if you've got time to watch us do this, you've definitely got time to check that out. Yeah, that's about everything from me. Thank you very much for watching this, for joining us. I hope you have a good weekend, and I hope you hear from us soon. there we go.
Now